The morning glow of the Lorraine show was meant to soothe. Soft lights, cozy chairs, and a warm audience ready for easy conversation. But the atmosphere shifted the instant Prince Harry walked onto the set. His tailored suit was sharp, his stride purposeful, but his face was carved in stone. The polite applause from the audience only deepened the contrast. Instead of the relaxed charm viewers expected, Harry's expression was tight, his jaw rigid. Lorraine Kelly leaned forward with her familiar Scottish lilt. "Your Royal Highness, welcome. It's truly a pleasure to have you here this morning. How are you feeling?" Harry didn't smile. His reply was clipped, almost dismissive. "I'm fine, Lorraine. Let's just get on with it." A ripple passed through the audience. Lorraine raised an eyebrow but kept her composure. She had weathered difficult guests before, but the sharpness in Harry's tone was undeniable. Still, she pressed on, her professionalism steady. "Many were surprised to see you back in the UK," she said. "You've spoken so openly about leaving it all behind. So let me ask directly, what brings you here now?" Harry gave a humorless laugh. "Is it really such a shock?" "I came for the Well Child Awards, a charity event, something that actually matters. Not that it's anyone's business why I'm here." The audience hushed. Lorraine's smile softened into something steadier, firmer. "Of course charity matters," she said evenly. "But you must understand why people ask. You've made such strong statements about distancing yourself from Britain and the monarchy. To some, your return feels contradictory." Harry leaned back, crossing his arms with defiance. "People see what they want to see. That's been the problem all along, hasn't it? Whatever I do, it's twisted. Maybe the real problem isn't me showing up, Lorraine. Maybe the problem is the obsession with my life." The words landed like stones. Lorraine, still calm, adjusted in her seat. "All right then, let's talk about the other side of it. You've built a new life in America. How does it compare?" Harry's smirk cut across the set. "It's better. Far better. I have freedom. I have control. I don't wake up to the British press tearing me apart every morning. It's a better life in every measure," gasps whispered through the crowd. Lorraine's warmth cooled. "So you're saying nothing here mattered? That your life in Britain was worthless?" Harry's voice rose, sharp with conviction. "Did you hear what I said? It's better there, and yes, better than being suffocated here. People can call it disrespectful. I call it truth." The studio went still. The tension was palpable, coiling tighter with each exchange. Lorraine's steady voice broke the silence. "Honesty is valuable, Harry, but honesty without respect, well, that's another matter." Harry leaned forward, eyes blazing. "Respect is earned, Lorraine, and Britain hasn't earned mine." The room froze. Audience members exchanged uneasy glances. Lorraine exhaled slowly, her eyes locking with his. The battle lines were drawn, and everyone watching knew it. This wasn't a polite morning chat anymore. This was a showdown, and it was only beginning. When the broadcast returned from a brief break, the tension hadn't cooled. It had calcified. Harry sat stiffly, arms crossed, his expression set in stone. Lorraine, paper smoothed neatly in her lap, leaned forward with a composed but sharper gaze. "Before the break," she began carefully, "things became a little heated, but I'd like us to continue." Harry let out a dry laugh, willing. "I'll continue, Lorraine, but let's not pretend this hasn't been an ambush. You wanted honesty? You've got it." The studio air thickened. Lorraine gave a professional nod. "Very well. Many people feel you've built your public identity by tearing down your family, the institution that gave you your platform. They wonder, without the royal connection, would anyone care what you have to say? Would anyone buy your books or shows?" Harry's eyes narrowed. He shook his head slowly, almost incredulous. "There it is again. The same tired narrative, as if I'm nothing without the crown. Do you realize how insulting that is? I've served my country. I've been in combat zones. I've fought for veterans, for mental health. But all people like you see is the spare." The audience murmurs at the word, spare. Lorraine tilted her head, voice calm but precise. "And yet you chose that title yourself. Spare, you leaned into the label. Harry snapped, his voice cracking like a whip. That was me reclaiming it, taking the word before it was twisted again. But clearly people like you still don't get it. Gasps rippled through the room. Lorraine's tone sharpened. Or perhaps people do understand, they just don't agree. Your book, Harry, it's sold, yes, but critics say interest dropped quickly. Some wonder if the public has grown tired of your version of events. Harry laughed bitterly. Tired? Number, they didn't understand. My story isn't simple. It's layered, and maybe not everyone is intelligent enough to grasp it. The words sliced through the air. The audience gasped audibly this time. Lorraine's lips pressed thin. So you're suggesting your readers weren't intelligent enough? The very people who supported you? Harry shrugged, unapologetic. If the shoe fits. The atmosphere was electric now, humming with shock and disbelief. Lorraine leaned forward, abandoning her morning show warmth for icy precision. Do you hear yourself? These are people who admired you, who cared enough to listen, to buy your story, and your response is to insult their intelligence? Harry waved a dismissive hand. I'm not here to pander. I'm here to tell my truth. If they can't handle it, that's their problem. Lorraine's eyes darkened. Then let's be plain. You criticize the monarchy endlessly. You say you've moved on, and yet here you are, still speaking about it, still profiting from it, still tied to it. If it truly doesn't matter, why not let it go? Harry leaned forward, his voice low, laced with venom. Because letting it go doesn't erase the damage. You think I can plant avocados in California and just forget the years of lies, manipulation, press campaigns? No, Lorraine, some wounds don't heal. Her tone rose a notch, controlled but cutting. But at what cost? Every time you speak out, every new interview, every deal, you reopen those wounds. Not just for yourself, but for your family. Doesn't that matter? Harry's hands slammed against the armrest, the sound cracking through the silence. Don't lecture me about family. Where were they when Megan was suicidal? Where were they when I begged for support? They left us to fend for ourselves. So don't you dare ask me to protect their feelings. The audience flinched at his fury. Lorraine stayed still, her voice calm but unyielding. Harry, no one is dismissing your pain, but the way you speak, arrogant, defensive, dismissive, it doesn't sound like healing. It sounds like bitterness. Harry's eyes blazed, his words trembling with rage. Bitter? Number, I'm realistic. If telling the truth makes me sound bitter, then so be it. Lorraine folded her hands, her tone measured, but merciless. Or perhaps it's not truth. Perhaps it's your truth. Selective, curated, profitable. Every time you speak, it's attached to a book deal, a contract, a stage. Doesn't that make it performance, not truth? Harry froze, his face flushed crimson. He stared at her, fists clenched, the weight of the cameras pressing down. For the first time, his composure cracked. And Lorraine, sensing the fracture, delivered the blow. You don't need a crown to be a prince, Harry. But right now, you're not acting like one at all. The studio gasped. The duel of words had become something more dangerous. A battle for Harry's very image. And the battle was far from over. The silence after Lorraine's cutting remark was suffocating. Harry's lips parted, but for a moment no words came. His chest rose and fell sharply, his jaw tight with fury. The audience shifted uncomfortably in their seats, every eye fixed on the prince who suddenly seemed cornered. Lorraine didn't look away. Her voice, calm but relentless, filled the void. Harry, people don't just see pain in you. They see resentment, envy. They see a man who claims to be free but cannot let go. Do you deny that? The studio erupted in murmurs. Harry's face darkened, crimson with anger. His voice dropped, low and venomous. That's a cheap shot, Lorraine. Dragging my brother and sister-in-law into this. You think you can psychoanalyze me in front of millions? You have no idea what I've endured. Lorraine leaned forward, unwavering. I don't need to psychoanalyze you, Harry. I'm reflecting what millions already believe. That bitterness has become your brand. Something snapped. Harry shot forward in his chair, finger stabbing the air. Don't you dare reduce everything I've been through to jealousy. Don't you dare speak my brother's name like you know what happened. You don't know anything. The audience recoiled, whispers bouncing across the studio walls. Lorraine's tone, however, was ice. Then perhaps we should end it here. This is morning television, not your therapy session. If contempt is all you can offer, there's nothing left to discuss. Harry tore off his microphone, the movement sharp and jerky. He rose abruptly, towering over Lorraine. Maybe you should end it, because I won't sit here and be insulted like this. The audience gasped as producers scrambled, just off camera, gesturing frantically. Lorraine remained composed, her eyes locked on him with a mixture of resolve and pity. Then we will, she said evenly. Thank you, Prince Harry. Harry muttered something under his breath, inaudible but filled with rage, and stormed off the set. The sound of his footsteps echoed through the silent studio. The audience sat frozen, stunned witnesses to a royal meltdown. Lorraine straightened her papers, turned to the camera, and forced a strained smile. Well, she said softly, I think that speaks for itself. We'll be right back after the break. The screen cut to commercials, but the moment was already immortal. When the broadcast returned minutes later, Lorraine sat alone. She inhaled slowly, her voice carrying a rare heaviness. Viewers, I want to apologize for what you just saw. Live television can be unpredictable. My role is to ask difficult questions, even when the answers are uncomfortable. I stand by that. The audience applauded cautiously, more for her composure than for the drama itself. From backstage, a door slammed. Faint. Final. Harry was gone. Lorraine glanced directly into the lens, her Scottish lilt sharpened by conviction. Perhaps what we witnessed today wasn't just about one man or one family. Perhaps it was about accountability. Titles don't shield anyone from the truth. And if we learned anything, it's that no crown can protect someone from themselves. The broadcast ended not with lighthearted chatter, but with the haunting weight of what had just unfolded. Within minutes, clips flooded social media. Hashtags trended worldwide. Hashtag Harry Walkout. Hashtag Lorraine Showdown. Hashtag Royal Meltdown. Some viewers accused Lorraine of going too far. Others praised her for refusing to bend. But all agreed on one thing. Daytime TV had never seen anything like it. The prince who claimed to have left the crown behind had walked into a trap of his own making. And when the world looked closely, they didn't see freedom. They saw a man unraveling, live on air, and Lorraine Kelly, calm, sharp, unflinching, had just made television history.